What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing out there? I'm trying something new today. As your goddess guru, Tirra-Omilade, here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to self-realization and self-mastery. And I love assisting people align with their higher purpose using ancient wisdom and techniques so that they live confidently and courageously the amazing, wonderful, glorious lives that they deserve. What am I doing differently today? I am live streaming to two platforms at one time because I can. I thought to myself, why have I not been doing this? Because, first of all, how are you doing? Please let me know. Are you here? Tell me hello, all that kind of good stuff. And also, where are you watching from? And so, yeah, I have a software that I can use to stream to both YouTube as well as Facebook. Last night I did a great live from Facebook, though, yeah, it was wild. It was wild. So I'm a little nervous today, to be honest with you. Hey, Queen, how you doing, Regina? Yes. Okay, good. I'm seeing all my friends here. Woo! Last night was a trip on hey Chula. What's up, broomstick mama? Yes, I'm glad you caught it too. Hey Chris CV, how are you? Nice. Salad Dre, Alafia. You know what? Don't even worry about it if you spelled it wrong. We know what you're talking about. We know what you're talking about. Ah, thank you, broomstick mama. Nice. Takia. Nice. Oh my gosh, this is great. Nanette is here. What's up, Peaches? What's up? Oh, whew, y'all are making me feel so much better because last night was rough on a sister. I'll tell y'all what happened real quick and then we'll move on. But I logged and did a wonderful live yesterday. And right at the beginning of the live on Facebook, hey, Twyla. Thank you, Chula. I noticed this man commented right away. And it's so interesting. We talk about the fact that we are energy, we are vibration. And the more we, accept this and open ourselves to feeling the energy and connecting to the energy, it's like immediately, when somebody's energy is different. Because when the brothers, what's up, Libra Spirit? When the brothers comment here, who I know, it feels beautiful, wonderful, glorious. As soon as that man made a comment, I was like, something's wrong. Not quite sure what's going on. And it just became like this frenetic posting. And then somebody else posted something like, do you talk about Jesus on here? It was a second dude. I'm like, what? No. Immediately, that's when I began to realize, because I had just started talking and hadn't really even gotten into what I was talking about, for them to be asking all these questions. And it was like disrupting my spirit. Block, delete. And then closer to the end, two other dudes jumped on and started, saying expletives and all kinds of stuff. Twyla was on there. Yeah, she knew. Look, my girl Twyla was having a smudge for me. I was like, what? But I did enjoy sharing. I was like, wow, I love the spirit was able to channel through me, because that shook my soul. That shook my spirit. So I was a little nervous to sign on. And that's why I went on ahead and signed on early. I was like, I just want to start because I need to see what's going to happen. Yes, Twyla. We knew it. As soon, she said, I felt that as soon as I read his message too. As soon as his words came through, I was like, something's wrong. But then I talked to some of like one of my coaches, and she was like, this happens and just ignore it. Don't even worry about it. So I was like, okay, cool. Okay, y'all. So let's just come together and take a few deep breaths. How y'all doing? Let's inhale and exhale. How's your Saturday going? Let's take a deep breath in. Inhale, giving thanks and gratitude, and we're going to exhale. And we're going to go ahead and take one more deep breath in. Let's take a deep breath in. Inhale. Exhale, bringing yourself fully present in the moment. And I give thanks for all of my guides. I call my my guides from the north, the south, the east, and the west to be here with us. I call in, our ancestors of light, the great ancestors of the world of light. I call in Ogun Herakuti to surround us and protect us as we're in the sacred spiritual cipher. I call on the energy of my great teacher, Babaji, who is in a room to stand at the door and guard it while we work our magic here. May the only thing that happened on this live stream via live or replay be for our highest and our greatest good. And we just give thanks to all of our guides. We give thanks for our lives. We give thanks for our breath. We give thanks for this technology that allows us to connect. Whatever need there is out there, whatever request, whatever desires that people have out there, may they manifest in the best, most abundant, prosperous way ever. And we say, Ashe, Amen, Hatep, and so it is. All righty. So yeah, y'all chatted up as we are talking. So today, one of the things I wanted to do is get on and begin to share a little bit of my story. I don't always share my story because I think, well, I shared it once, but sometimes you sort of need to repeat what's going on. First and foremost, there's a lot of newbies who contact me. And so this is good for them if they are able to catch this live stream. And then secondly, you're welcome, Mama. Hey, Azizi. The other thing is we all will go through a phase where we are realizing something's changing about me. We change, we grow beyond where we were, or we learn new information. And so it's important for me to make sure that I keep y'all posted and abreast. Now, I don't think I ever have presented myself as just straight Ifa, but I'm going to have to make sure I continue to drive home that my number one religion is truth seeking. Okay, I'm a truth seeker. If you need to know my religion, truth seeker. Okay. I don't know why I cannot be put in a box, but I'm not putting myself in a box. I got out of a religion because I no longer wanted to be in a box. And so I feel like if I share my story a little bit, then it will begin to help people to understand what I am about. I love it when people contact me and say, like yesterday, a young lady was like, oh yeah, I've been watching your videos. I know how you roll. So I'm like, cool. Because I don't do what people expect me to do. I do what my guides tell me to do. I do what my destiny tells me to do. What does this have to do with you? You do the exact same thing. Don't let anybody put you in a box. As you grow, as you evolve, as you become more aware of what your destiny is about for you, then, you have to make sure that you are true to that. So, hey, Trey, you see that? What up, sis? Drop by to say, hey, how you doing, Trey? You see how Trey came in here? It felt different yesterday when those other ones spoke. Anywho, y'all, let me move on from the past. Let me stay in the present. So let me just tell you all a little bit, because sometimes even for those who are who've been on the path a little bit, feel good about hearing, oh, okay, so she's like me. So yeah, what I want to tell y'all is I knew I was different spiritually as a child. It's very similar to people who, they know something is different. They don't quite fit in with their family for whatever reason. You meet so many people who say, I just never bought into that when it came to my family. I was like really different, but it was sort of a good thing for me that I was raised up Catholic. My mother was Baptist, but my father was Catholic. My grandmother, who sent my dad to Catholic school, was Baptist. But yes, in Mississippi, they went to Catholic school back in the day. My dad was born in 41. Yeah, he went to Catholic school, if you can believe it, in little old Vicksburg, Mississippi. And so my dad, at some point when I was about 10, insisted that we join the Catholic Church. And so what ended up happening after I joined the Catholic Church, I became a weirdo because, first of all, it's Catholic Church, it's in Mississippi, and I'm Black. It wasn't a lot of us like that. It wasn't a lot of Catholics, and it definitely there were not a lot of Black Catholics. And so I grew up being weird and having people question, like, are Catholics really Christian? And so it even blows my mind now when I think about it, because so many churches, or the Protestant church branched off from the Catholic Church. It's like, what are you talking about? It's like, I will say that's one thing I did like about going to Catholic Church. They educate you on the history, even though the framework of it, it's like, when I really think about it, nobody was questioning the holy wars. Like, they were just like, yeah, we had the holy wars. This is what we did. And after a while, I was like, the holy wars were so wrong. But at least they taught us something about the history of the Catholic Church. As we all know about the Catholic Church. I'm not going to diss it because I know some beautiful people are part of the Catholic Church. But anywho, so I had to defend myself from family even questioning whether or not we were really Christian. And so it was just, I was weird. And of course, when you're raised up in the Catholic Church, you learn about the saints. You learn, they go through and they burn the incense, the smudging. And I remember there was this little place where I could go and make offerings to make sure my granddad, who died when I was one of my grandfathers in particular, I was very close to. He died when I was 10 or 11. And we would go and light a candle to make sure your soul wasn't stuck in purgatory. Like all this weird stuff, constant ritual in the Catholic Church. And so, but as I started getting older, I was like, you know what? I don't know if this is for me. I just remember questioning, what were my ancestors doing before they were brought over here as slaves? And everybody be like, oh, it don't matter what they were doing. This is where we are now, And I'm like, I don't know. And I even tried to tell my mother, I don't want to do confirmation because I don't really know if I want to be committed to the Catholic Church. She was like, you're going to do the confirmation, because my mother became Catholic once we started going through all of our classes. And so sometimes the converts are more hardcore than the ones that are raised from the cradle. It's amazing. You're going to get that confirmation. So my confirmation name was Dominica, because my dad's name, they made him take on a spiritual name. His name is Money. And they said, that's a secular name. You can't have that here at the Catholic school. You got to take on a Catholic, good Christian name. So his name is Dominic. And so, yeah, I just said, okay, I'll just choose Dominica because it was easy. It was an easy choice. So, I need to look that up. That's the first time, it's like I got a name when I was a kid, Dominica. I never really thought about that until right now. I need to look and see what that means. But anywho, when I left home and went off to college, I went to a historically Black college. And that is when the awakening really began. Now, I will say my mother was a civil rights activist, and she was very Black and proud. So I had that in me too. And so when I went off to Spelman College is where I went, it's like this great awakening of Black history and just learning more about my ancestors, just really being able to see out there. And so, of course, once I got there, you start hearing more about religions that Black people are part of. And I know one that was really big was Islam. But I was like, you know what? I respect it, but I just can't do Islam. It just didn't seem like the religion for me. I'm like, that's that. I know we got our issues in Catholicism, because folks will complain, why can't the women be, priests or whatever? I get that. But Islam, it wasn't for me. It was not for me. It was not for me, but I respected it. It started giving me something different to think about. So once I And I stopped going to Catholic church. I started going to Black Baptist church. I just wanted that Black experience or whatever. Well, right around my second Jupiter return, so right at 24, is when it was like this thing was calling me. And I was like, something is calling me regarding my ancestors and religion. I mean, it's just like really something is calling me. I had just gotten married. And I went and got all these books on Islam because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to look at. And my husband was like, what you doing? I was like, nothing. I took all the books back to the library because I'm like, I just got married and I'm getting ready to flip the script. He wasn't having that. So what ended up happening was I met some friends, or some I knew. Two were from my hometown. We were all some kind of way ended up in Knoxville, Tennessee, for graduate school. And this is when I began, well, actually, a little bit before that, I found Heal Thyself by Queen Afua. That book began to really change me. Of course, Queen Afua is more about, to me, we can argue it, but she's more about nutrition and what you eat. That's what she changed for me. Even though in her books, she's bringing in the Kemetic principles. She might be bringing other stuff. I don't really read a whole bunch of Queen Afua. I could never really get into the book that had something to do with the womb or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. But anywho, I started getting into Queen Afua, and then I found Iyanla Vanzant. And then I started connecting with people who actually knew something about African traditional religion. This is all around the time I was 24 years old. And so, yeah, that was the beginning. And I just started, like, I was an Iyanla addict before Iyanla became like what she is now. Y'all know how we used to go buy every Iyanla book, the little cassette tapes, listen to Iyanla on all my trips home to Mississippi. It'd take me about 8 hours to go home. I'd listen to those cassette tapes till they tore up. So I have Iyanla books on my shelf to this day. Okay. Let me make sure. Okay. I just wanted to make sure nobody's saying, I can't hear you. Oh, thank you, Azizi. Dominica means belonging to God. Okay. All right. So I'm going to start telling y'all to call me Dominica. That's going to be my I don't know. My alter ego is Dominica. But anywho, so yeah, I was way big into Iyanla. And this is just when the change slowly but surely started happening. And I began to realize how unhappy I was. Something is wrong. I'm not feeling right. And I need to get healed up. And so then I started getting into Oprah Change Your Life TV and just started hearing. I'll never forget one of the things that I learned, and I teach it to this day, is how we need to understand that we're born, and part of the game of the human incarnation is you come and you forget, right? For those of y'all who study with Iya Oshinike, she always says it's not about learning something new. It's about remembering. So that's actually what we're here to do. We're here to remember the truth of who and what we are. I don't even know the lady's name, but it was on Oprah Change Your Life TV. I remember Gary Zukav, even Iyanla. She has gone through, I think, at least 2 iterations with Oprah. Iyanla was on there. I don't know if I remember seeing Michael Beckwith back in the day, but so then I got pregnant and had my first son. And that's when I grew exceedingly disgruntled with the church. It was really before that. And it was just, I didn't feel like I fit in. I didn't feel like I could get all my questions answered. And I just knew something was different. I was like, I don't know what it is. I just know something is different. And the other thing was my mother had died. And I was like, nothing anybody is saying to me here at this church is helping me. I feel disgustingly depressed, and nothing else telling me. As a matter of fact, some of it was making it worse. And so after I had my older son, is when I started saying, you know, I got to figure out what this is, and started hanging out with some people who are local. And that's how I met my godparents. And I was the type who was like, you know, I'm not going to just sign up with anybody. Look, sign up like it's a MLM or something. But I knew I needed elders, people who were old enough to be my parents. Because there was a young couple who were just really, you know, and I actually got my first reading with them. This young couple, they're not together anymore, but it was a young priest and priest about my age. They had set Nashville on fire with Ifa. Um, you know, just to this day, I remember the readings that I got from them. Just, they gave me my first Ifa name, which was Oshundele. So, or which is, I should say, not was, which is Oshundele. And so, and that means Oshun comes to the house. But I was like, they're just too young for me. I don't know. It just, I didn't feel moved to join that egg bay. And so then I meet my godparents. And from there, I initiated first into a goddess tradition. And let's see here, that was 2006. And then it was not until 2014 that I initiated into Ifa. Although I had received my Lekes like in 2002. Yeah, I think I had my Lekes in 2002. And so when I started this YouTube channel, I was a priestess of the Sacred Feminine Mysteries, not yet initiated into Yemonja. I was a priestess of the Sacred Feminine Mysteries. This is why it's called Goddess, Body, Mind, Spirit. And what I can tell you for me that I love about initiating into the goddess tradition first, it's been a hard journey. I'm not going to lie to y'all. To be a part of a tradition that nobody knows. If you tell people, and there's some priestesses of the Sacred Feminine Mysteries on here, Azizi is very fortunate to not have had a church experience. Yeah, Unity Church. Wow. Yeah. Hey, Laura. Yeah, I like that. Initially, it was hard because nobody knows what it is. But in a way, it's sort of good because we don't deal with tradition with the Sacred Feminine Mysteries. I look at the Sacred Feminine Mysteries Goddess Path as a tradition that was lost and has now been found, rediscovered. And now women are having a great awakening. Like I'm looking at all these goddess, you know, it's like goddess this, goddess that. And it's all about, you know, stepping into our feminine power, operating from our feminine power. It's because there is some awakening happening that is related to women, like reclaiming our power and operating from our true selves. I had a friend that was like, okay, I'm trying to balance the masculine and the feminine because we're tired. We're burnt out from having to hustle in this masculine way and rarely bringing forth the feminine. When in actuality, doesn't matter if you're male or female, we all need to be pulling from this, you know, this masculine and feminine way. But yeah, I love that actually there's not a whole lot of tradition, because if I was only initiated into the Ifa tradition, I don't know where I would be right now. I initiated into Yemonja in 2014. And what I can tell y'all is those of us who initiated into the Sacred Feminine Mysteries first, and then did the Orisha initiation, the Orisha initiation was a breeze for us. It's just something about the way the goddess path tradition is. You have to do so much internal work, and you create a life of ritual, but it's not prescribed. You know, so many times people are talking to me about Ifa, like, well, what do I need to do to work with this Orisha? Or how do I, which is fine, don't get me wrong, but it's really, most of the time when people are asking me these questions, it's more of like, what is the Ifa? Like, give me the Ifa prescription. Those are the ones who I'm like, you really missing it. You really missing, you know, because Ifa has been around for so long. and it's been presented in a certain way, it's almost like there is this Hollywood way of Ifa being presented. And it's really just a lifestyle. I've talked about this before. Anybody here initiated into, hey, Amber, an Ifa tradition, and you're not in the goddess tradition, I want you to know, well, if you initiated, if you got your LKs with me, then you think like me. But if you are initiated into the Ifa tradition, what I will tell you is I was not initiated like everybody else. My godparents were like, we don't do prescriptive. We don't do stuff just for the sake of doing it. You're going to follow spirit. That's just how I do Ifa. I follow spirit. So, yeah. So, yeah, I initiated into Ifa and have done my best to get to understand my Orisha. The other thing that I would like people to know about me that I've learned from initiation is that I use my initiations to help clear the clutter, to help me to heal. Healer, heal thyself, so that I can live in alignment with my destiny. Because I can tell you, it's a lot of people who've initiated and their lives have not changed. And so I just think to myself, why? What's being missed? That we go through all this initiation and we don't end up any better than where we are. So that's the other thing. So my every time I pray to Yemaja, I say, Yemaja, I'm asking that you continue to lead, guide, and direct my life in your wisdom. And then you show me, how do I show up and share your healing wisdom with the world? Okay. And so that's what I ask for. Heal me first. I don't want to be out here talking to y'all and living a messy life. Okay. I just cannot. So another thing that I want y'all to know about me is that I, at 48, I had another Jupiter return. My third Jupiter return is when I initiated into the Sacred Feminine Mysteries. My fourth Jupiter return, I fell into astrology, and it's something I'm so passionate about. I never get enough of astrology. I love astrology. I could talk astrology all day long. And largely the reason I love it is because it's so accurate, So a lot of times, now, one thing I have left out is my main oracle is the Metanetter. Okay. This is my main oracle. Yes, I do Meridian Lagoon. But again, this is a very ancient system. And so it's like you've got to learn how to read these oracles when you get them. And so the Meridian Lagoon is something that I have learned, but it's almost like astrology. I just have to keep using it to get it. But that was not my first oracle. I always go Metanetter first to tap into my inner oracle. So that's something to remember. When you use oracles, it's really tapping into your inner oracle, okay? And I do use the Meridian Lagoon, but also astrology is so accurate, and you can make it so specific to that individual because you're looking at their actual blueprint. And that's what I have come to realize just in all the years, because I've been doing readings since 2002. All these years of doing readings, it seems like most of the time when people get off is because they could not read their energy. They did not know how to read their energy. And if most people just could understand, this is the cycle you're in, this is the phase that you're in, then you will be able to, if you choose to navigate your life in the best way possible. If you know, most people are not really wanting to sabotage their lives. Y'all let me know. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking at y'all's. Yes, car tapes. I miss them, Chula. I love Iyanla. To this day, I say she was my first godmother to this day. That's it. Miscellaneous AB, Afua, Queen Afua, sacred woman. Yep, that's it. Yeah, a lot of people, it's mixed reviews about Sacred Woman. I respect Queen Afua, but she's just not my flavor. And it's okay, it's really okay. Um, uh, I aligned with my particular godmother. Her energy just worked with me. What do you think about Black is King? I don't think anything about it, Amber. I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you. That's another thing I'll tell you. I am so not connected to pop culture. Sometimes I'm embarrassed. Just like the other day, I kept hearing about Beyonce. So, you'll see these rumblings. You'll see people making posts. I don't even know comments. Or maybe I see it in I don't know, maybe a search engine or something. I don't know. And that's what the only reason I stopped to look at it was because Obafemi O, he has a YouTube channel, talked about what Beyonce did recently to release something regarded to EFI. I didn't even stop to look at what Beyonce did, but I did like his take on it. I did like his take. But yeah, I typically don't know anything. I like this. Realigning with the divine feminine is saving my life. That's how I feel, Azizi. I mean, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Ifa is my heart. And I always say I needed Ifa and the Metanetta, okay? Because the deities look like me. Sometimes you just need to see somebody who looks like you, right? There is this patriarchal slant to Ifa, not because Ifa did that, but because humans did it, Olodumare is not he. Maybe that's how they describe Olodumare in the stories, but look who's telling the stories. It's been the Babalaos, the males. I'm not male bashing, nothing like that. I'm just saying, when we women folk are trying to step into our power, we definitely need something that is, speaking truth to power from the divine feminine perspective. And so Ifa is my cultural foundation. The wisdom of Ifa is life for me. Okay. That has nothing to do with color, race, gender, nothing. But the wisdom is life. The actual spiritual tradition, especially how most of us know it, definitely helped to heal me in terms of, this, we have all this systemic racism. Well, the goddess tradition has helped to heal me from the feminine perspective, and to understand what does it mean to live a goddess-based lifestyle, goddess-centered life, right? And that has brought me so much healing, because one of the things that I love about the goddess path is it's all about the cycles. It's all about the cycles. And the more you live in alignment with the cycle, my cycle is going to be different from yours. I'm 50. If you 25, we at two different cycles. Now there's some that are similar. So somebody who might be like 28, 30, 28, 29 will be at a Saturn return cycle as, similar to the one as the person who is about 58, 59, because they're both going through, those are times when we go through our Saturn return phase. So you might be going through a similar cycle, but it's still different because one is going through their first and the other one's going through their second, And so as long as you understand what is the cycle that I'm in, then, it will help you so much. Live in alignment. I just used to feel like I was just caught up in Oya all the time. I mean, just here. And even since initiating doesn't fix anything. I mean, I have had to, initiation is the beginning of you having maybe more tools to work with to continue to do what I call self-archaeology, which is to dig through the muck and the mire so that we can remember. Y'all remember I talked about how we come and we forget. We need to remember. We have to have this self-archaeology process. So that's what initiation does. This is why so many people get on and say to me, I appreciate you for respecting the fact that life is initiating me, or Yemanja initiated me herself, I say if you're going to initiate into Ifa, commit and just go through the actual process. But you cannot tell somebody. And I say, if you don't initiate into Ifa, maybe respect the tradition and don't do the Ifa, rituals and stuff as if you've gone through this specific tradition's initiation. But you cannot tell me that Yemonja has not initiated somebody through life. I cannot believe that people who have never studied Ifa don't know Yemonja. That's just not how I live. This is why I'm like, anyone that comes to me with all this tradition and what's Ifa and what's not Ifa, I'm like, the Orisha belong to the world. The forces of nature, we could call them that. That is, it's because the language is Yoruba that they're called Orisha, but they're called something else in a different language, a different culture. It's called air. It's called trees. It's called water in the form of a lake or a river or an ocean. It's called the herbs. They're everywhere. All of this nature is everywhere in the world. Go stand at the Grand Canyon. I can assure you, who's been to the Grand Canyon? If you have ever been to the Grand Canyon, that was one of the most humbling experiences of my life. I bet you if you've been to some natural wonder of the world, some great nature place that everyone goes to look at. I see some of these pictures that on my screensaver. I'm like, this is in Germany or this is in South Africa. You see the waterfalls and stuff. That is Orisha. Okay. That's Orisha. Because if you go and you commune with that nature, and that is the goddess. That is the goddess. Okay. That is life, in my opinion. That will awaken us to the truth of who and what we are, if we would but allow it. Right. So, yeah. You're welcome. Yes, I have integrity. That's something I pride myself on. Yes, following spirit. That's the only way. Yeah, the Metanetter. I have to tell you, Ancestral Goddess Wisdom. Hey, who is this? Ancestral Goddess Wisdom. We got us a goddess on here. Well, all y'all goddesses and gods, if we have some men on here. But so the Metanetter, I love the Metanetter. Like I said, it's my go-to oracle, and it has given me a foundation. I will say this is the other thing that I want people to know. First and foremost, it's very masculine to me. The way he wrote it, that's a masculine book. But what my godmother said was a lot of, I don't remember if it was just back in the day or now, but a lot of the women who are part of the Asar or Set Society, the women just do whatever they want to with the oracle. Their inner oracle opens up and takes over. Because that oracle can be, that book is deep. You will learn a lot. I just give thanks I was able to crank it out. But the other thing that I like about that is I have really only recently come to terms with this is, oh my God, it is very African American. We say it's comedic, but let me tell y'all something. Something that I have figured out about, in particular, I can speak about African Americans. We are gumbo. We are jambalaya. And this is another reason why I'm like, I like what I do with the goddess tradition, because then I don't have to answer so much as to why I do things the way that I do. Because don't nobody know what I'm doing. And we do things jambalaya gumbo style. Okay. Because it's like, African Americans, when, they were down in New Orleans and having to make do with what they had, what did they do? They just threw all kinds of stuff into the pot, and they got jambalaya, they got gumbo, right? And then it became amazing. Like, people come from around the world to try jambalaya and gumbo, right? But that's a lot of what we do. And that's what this Metuneta Oracle is. And it's probably one of the reasons I do so well with it. This thing is a hodgepodge. This thing is a hodgepodge. Woo! It's got astrology. He names all the deities. He's got some I Ching in there. And When I say he names out the deities, whatever the religion is, he goes across culture, and he's got the tree of life, which is, based on the Kabbalah. I mean, this thing is like for real eclectic, and I love it personally. So yeah. Okay, I feel like I've gone on and on. Let me see here. New, yes. New, like this year. Yeah, gotcha. Yes. Yes. Self-archaeology. It's becoming aware. It's becoming aware, and it never ends. You can never stop it. This is the year for archaeology. So this is something else that I'll tell y'all. I have a membership site. I mentioned that. And that is one of the main things that I like driving home, is that this year is a year of self-archaeology, where we are having to dig deep within and tap into some inner reserves that have always been there, but we hadn't done it yet. Let me know if you're doing that, if you're tapping into some inner reserves that you hadn't done so before. I've been feeling like I was in a fog lately until this. Libra spirit. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm glad I came on to share that because I think it's important for people to know. And some of it is based on the questions that I get from people, like somebody. And if you watch this, you asked me this. What oracle do you use? What's your lineage in EFI? And what path of EFI were you initiated into? I'm like, and I know it's a lot of people out there that's doing EFI that's not right, but I'm like, I'm not even presenting myself that way. But I guess that's how a lot of people find me. Yes, eclectic is a good style. Yes. Thank you, CV. So let's do a little reading real quick, and then I'll move on. From the Metanetter, we have the Sheps card. All right. Sheps. This is the ancestor card, and even spoken what is called Hetep. You know how we always saying Hotep, brother. So Hetep, peace, balance. Okay. So this is a good time for us. Actually, all year long is the time to be calling on our ancestors. I want to know how many of y'all, you're welcome, how many of y'all have been working with your ancestors pretty regularly and deeply this year. So if you have not, I want to invite you to begin to call on your ancestors of light. Where do you need assistance? This is how I talk to my ancestors. Ancestors, y'all know I need help with this. So I'm asking y'all, bring it on, ancestors. Help a sister out, ancestors. Help me. Yes, I love it. There's so much digging and black tar muck in this archaeological dig. You're cracking me up, Chula. A nice ancestral goddess. All right, good miscellaneous AB. I'm happy to hear y'all are working with the ancestors. There's an Odu that spoke this year, and this particular Odu has to do with working with the ancestors and accepting that you have to accept the cycles of life. So within the goddess tradition, one of the things that we talk about is, and I'll just use the Orisha, there's Oshun, Yemaja, and Oya. You cannot stay in the Oshun phase all the time, because all you would do is create, but would the creation stick? Because if you don't go into the Yemaja phase, no one's going to nurture the creation. And then at some point, things have to come to an end, which is Oya, right? And then we get rebirthed again back to Oshun. It's that cycle, right? And so people, they love the Oshun cycle. They live for Yemanja. But whenever Oya shows up, all of a sudden, folks want to cry. Folks don't want to go through Oya, right? But what this particular Odu says is, when you begin to accept that, this is a part of the change and transformation that's going to lead to the next level. This is what will lead to abundance. You must accept that, there's going to be the cycle. One part of the cycle is endings. Okay. I've gotten a lot of Oyeku and Osa readings this year. It's about change and endings. And when you accept it, you get to that new phase. Well, also a part of this is working with the ancestors. Of course, anytime we're working with the ancestors, we are, with Oya, we're working with the ancestors. So, work with the ancestors. They are your guides. They are the ones that will assist you. They will lead you. They will guide you. They will direct you. They will be a lamp unto your feet. They have a vested interest in you. Okay. So I do encourage you, work with your ancestors. Have y'all been working with your ancestors? Okay. Yes. Vershawn, Dr. Vershawn. How you doing, sister? She says her ancestors are on fire. Nice. Hello, how are you? Bellissimo. Thank you. I appreciate you. I've got my ancestors lined up and pictures on the wall. Nice. Okay, so we have a Zizi. She said, I visited my ancestors' graves yesterday. It was awesome and awe-inspiring. Nice. Jasmine is in an Oya phase. Nice. Nekabet has my feet, and I see from the Metu Neter they are the same or similar. Yes, they are. I consider them to be the exact same energy. Ancestral goddess Oya and Nekabet is the same energy as I see it. And I relate Nekabet to the eclipses. If that ain't Oya, I don't know what is. I have seen the eclipses change some stuff before. Oh my gosh. The eclipses changed some stuff for me. Azizi said, cried like a baby at my grandparents' graves. They know I'm doing healing for our lineage. Yes, they are proud of me. Nice, 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 nice. I'm happy to hear that. Yes, I'm so happy to see so many of y'all working with your ancestors. So this is what we teach in the goddess tradition, that when you heal your womb, especially for the women, but the men, it would be the same concept, except for, their body part. But when you heal your womb, you heal the womb of the women who came before you, at least 7 generations back. And all you have to do is heal your womb. The healing automatically shoots back. Though a lot of us will be maybe having to do some healing work with our mothers. Doesn't matter if you knew your mom, adopted, all of that. We're energy beings. That's the number one thing to remember. We're energy. And so doesn't matter if you know her, or not, because some people are adopted. That is the womb you will be working with. How so? Never. Because we're energy. I believe if you were adopted by somebody, you connected to her womb too. Okay. And we shoot the energy to our grandmas. Let's say I did not know my maternal grandmother. It's my paternal grandmother I was raised up with. My energy is shooting to her womb too. I'm healing everybody's womb in my lineage. Happy birthday to your grandmother, Laura. Yeah, let's give it up for Laura's grandmother. She made her some soap. Aww. She loved to make soap. That's that good old Mississippi soap. Was she in Mississippi like us? Okay, Ancestral Goddess, I'm going to tell you one thing about that Nekabet Wachet. He says Nekabet is the north node, but it's really the south node in concept. But yeah, just ask me whenever you get there. Okay, so I had posted this today. I was supposed to post it in my inner circle, and I posted it on my Instagram. I don't know if I posted it here. Maybe I did post it here. I can't remember. But I am courageous is the I am statement for today. This is a concept. Whenever people want to know how to work with Shango, the king. So that's another thing about me and Ifa. I'm like, I can't remember all those Yoruba words. I'm like, Omio, Meferfun, but the one that they say for Shango is easy. Say it for me. It starts with a K. Anywho, the great king, Shango. How do you work with Shango? Well, one of the things is you exhibit. Wait a minute. No, this is Ogun. Ogun. Ogun is about courage. How do you work with Ogun? Exhibit freaking courage in your life. Okay. Tell me something that you need to be courageous about right now. I will tell y'all, coming on to YouTube and Facebook, it takes an act of courage for me, but y'all make it worth it. Because once I'm here, I'm good. Once I'm here with y'all, I'm good. um, let's see here. What else do I do? I make courses. I have a membership group. It takes an act of courage, y'all. I'm not saying, like, I love every bit of what I'm doing, but it is an act of courage. I could have done this so many years ago, but I was just so like, I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if I have what it takes to actually do this. Am I really at that point? All that kind of good stuff. I'll tell you something I did that I'm pretty much at the end of is I exhibited an act of courage and I homeschooled my kids. Was before homeschooling was popular. It was on the rise, so it was okay when I started. I still had other people who thought I was weird, thought my kids were going to be messed up. And, they were like, well, how long are you going to do it for? I'm like, this ain't no hobby. All right, I'm invested. So I would say it's taking an act of courage to take full responsibility for homeschooling my children. I used to think, oh my gosh, whatever goes wrong is all going to be blamed on me, and after a while I just said, nah, whatever, I'm just going to keep going, so yes. Okay. Making a YouTube video. So Ancestral Goddess, tell me what you, tell me your fears about making a YouTube video. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I knew Azizi were going to say it. I'm so happy to hear that. That's actually why I do what I do. I really want to help people. I want people to be free. I want people to be educated. I want people to be empowered. See, I don't feel the need to hold all the wisdom. I'll share everything I know, I don't feel the need to hold all the wisdom. I don't even want to run nobody's life. That's something else I'll tell y'all. Now, Azizi, she might say I'm my godmother, but Azizi knows she my sister. But, she got her lucky through me and her brother. But for the most part, I'm like, nah, I'm not nobody's godmother. I might be your guide for a little while. But at some point, I'm going to take those reins and I'm going to hand them off to you. It's your life, right? I want you to be empowered. Because if I fall off the face of this earth, why do we say fall off the face of this earth? But anywho, if I fall off the face of this earth, you'll be like, you know what? That's just to help me out a lot, but I'm glad she gave me the reins of my own life. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Libra Spirit. You will not mess up your kid. Trust me, Libra Spirit. Here we go. I can never just get it out, but there we go. Azizi, I wish she was on here so she could say it. I love it when people yell that. I love it. Yeah, you will do really, really well. Libra Spirit, I have homeschooled my kids K through 12. K through 12 today. K through 12. What am I teaching y'all today? I'm teaching you about me. I'm giving you my story, and I am doing readings, and I plan on talking a little bit about the Goddess and Animal Totems. Okay, initiating and some hard conversations. So, Ancestral Goddess, something that I want to tell you is, the hardest part of doing that first YouTube video is just doing it. I think I left up my first one. I look like a crazy person. My earlier YouTube videos, I am like so nervous and scared. And then after a while, you just get used to it. So I say, just go for it. I just say, go for it. Oh, you said initiating some hard conversations. Got you, Twyla. Okay. Yes. So then you could just call in the ancestors with you to assist you with all of that. Hello, Bantu Viking. Yes. Absolutely. Okay, so I am courageous. I am courageous. Okay, so really, I have integrated what I was teaching to a certain degree with about the goddess tradition. It is about cycles. Okay, do you know what cycle you are in? And you can let me know whatever that looks like for you. I like astrological cycles. I like numerological cycles. That's something else that I've studied. Do you know what cycle you are in? This is what Azizi says, ancestral goddess wisdom. I think Azizi's done too. Ah, nice. Asheo. Y'all, let's say Asheo for Twyla. She is courageous. You got this. You got this. Okay, so the last thing that I'll talk about. So we're talking about cycles. Solid Dre is asking, have I ever read the book called The Way of the Orishas? You know, I think I have looked at that book at somebody's house. Tell me what you think about that book, Dre. Have you read it? I'm not gonna lie to y'all. For me, I love Awo Falakун's. If you don't know Awo Falakun, what is it, Fatumbi or something like that? I love Awo Falakун's books because, and I like any book that is written by people from here in the West who have been over there. Baba Obafemi of OIDSI is somebody else who I like listening to. Baba Shangadari of Gone Philosophy. He's also known as Christopher Brown. You can look up their videos on YouTube. But I like hearing from people who understand the Western mindset. So my godparents said one thing, and then I start listening to Baba Obafemi and Baba Shangadari, and they were saying something similar, which is we have to make Ifa fit us over here. The Way of the Orisha probably was written by somebody from the West, though, I think. Let me know. Yes. Okay. Good. Okay. So one of the things that you can do, Libra Spirit, do you know your astrological information? Yes. Look up, let me see if I can see this book. Where is my book? Hold on, Solid Dre. Like I said, I have always been, yeah, it can be controversial when you're talking about Falakun. But let me tell y'all, everybody in Ifa read Falakun's books. All right? This is Inner Peace. If you ever get your Elekes with me, which that will be for a while. I'm not announcing anything. I'm just saying if you ever did, this would be one of the main books that I would say read. Did you get this one, Solid Dre? And you can go to, I have to see if I can find it. Now, this one, even if you do 4-calorie share divination, he goes over all the different divination systems to include 4-calorie shell. I think I will. Yeah, Obi Obata is in here also. And that's for people who are Abarisha. And that is the name for people who are initiated. You know, they're studying, they're devotees. They haven't necessarily become a priest or priestess in Ifa or whatever. But yeah, do you know, Libra Spirit, what is your sun, sign, your rising sign? Well, not your sun sign, your rising sign. Even if you know your sun sign, what's your sun sign? I'll give y'all a real easy cycle to keep up with. So, when we think about the moon, there is the new moon, there's the waxing phase, the full moon, the waning phase. Okay. AB, miscellaneous AB for real. I'll tell you, I'll put it out there. I actually plan on doing the Aleke initiation or ceremony for people, but it mostly will just be with people who are in my the membership or who have gotten a reading with me, because I only want to do it for people who I know. So let me type this in for Salad Dre. I will follow Kun B, something like that. And so did it go both places? Let me see here. Yeah. I don't know if you see that. Let me know if you see what I just typed in, Salad Dre. So yeah, I am going to do the Alekes, but it's only for people who have gotten a reading from me, who I know, and who I have done a reading for. I'm not going to just let anybody get their Alekes with me, because that would be a mess. Okay, so whatever we know that there's the new moon, the waxing, full, waning, and then we go back to the new moon. Okay. Now, if your birthday, once you get 6 months out from your birthday, you now are officially at the full moon phase, and then you're going to go into a waning phase. So your sun sign has a new sign, or I mean, it's not new moon, but it has this new phase. And that new phase is your birthday. Every time your birthday comes, it's a new beginning, right? You set some new intentions. People are setting the new intentions at the new year, which is a good thing. People are also setting intentions at spring, which is good, but let's say your birthday is in June. Well, when the spring equinox hits and your birthday is in June, you're actually in a waning phase, even though the earth is in her new phase, but you're in a waning phase. You'll be in a waning phase for 3 months. You may not feel like you have a lot of energy, right? And so like the first 6 months from your birthday, you'll feel like you have a lot of energy. You want to get a lot done. Then you get to that full moon phase. So, set some 6 months goals. Actually 90 days. So you have your first 90 days. Then you have your second 90 days. You'll see where you're going, right? Then there always has to be a time. This again is the goddess, the goddess tradition has to do with cycles. There's some point where you really need to pull yourself back a little bit, where you might need to chill out. You may not need to be going full out. Well, maybe, depending on what else is in your chart, to be honest with you. But we're just making it super easy with the sun, because this sun sign, it's real. It confers a lot of energy and focus. Once you get to the waning phase, maybe you're going to schedule some time to just chill out, especially the closer you get to your birthday. A lot of people don't realize just how depressed they get before their birthday, and it's because our sun is just creeping along, trying to get to, the sun is creeping along, and our sun is waiting for the sun to come back and charge it up, right? So understanding what cycles you're in, so important. So for me, goddess tradition has to do with the cycle. All right. So y'all can let me know. You can go to my website. I have 2 different readings that I offer really 3 different readings that I offer right now. Salad Dre. Just you can go there and go to get a reading. Tell me if you can see these posts that I'm making, because I'm using a new system. So I don't know if it's going to both. Oh, I think it is going to both. Okay. So lastly, I want to talk about animal totems and how we are not left without guidance. I think this is to a certain degree why I do what I do, is because I realize we always are given information from the universe about what we are, what is the answer, or what is the direction that we need to go into. And one of the things I love is animal totems. I want to know from you. Do you, okay, good, Solid Dre. Do you know do you have an animal totem? So what I'm going to tell y'all is, oh, thank you, Azizi. Look, I got to put that up there. Yeah, it's Leo season. Let me brag on myself. Let Azizi, let me let Azizi brag on me. Yeah, Azizi's gotten readings for me. You are so welcome. Okay, so one of the things you can do is you can begin to look at what animal is repetitively showing up. You can also, oh, I was telling y'all about one of my first experiences with animal totems. So if I remember correctly, we used to do with my godfather, and hopefully one day we'll be getting back to this where we can do sweat lodge ceremonies. In the sweat lodge ceremony, there was always a round because you do several rounds. You go in for a little while, then you come out, then you go in and then you come out. I don't know if you've done a sweat lodge ceremony, let me know. So you go in the sweat lodge, you come out. Well, one of the rounds will be an animal totem round. And so 2 animal totems that I remember seeing right away early on, one was the beetle. This was like at the very beginning. It probably, the weekend I met my godparents, my teachers, it was my first time ever going into a sweat lodge. So I met them the exact same weekend. They were holding a sweat lodge ceremony. We go into the sweat lodge and I'm pretty sure that particular sweat lodge, I saw 2 animal totems. One was the beetle. So remember, when I met them, I was still new to the path. I did not have any teachers yet. And so I was just really, at the beginning still. I was a little bit lost, a little bit resistant to making the changes, but I met them. And the beetle, what does the beetle have to do? And they interpret the totem inside the sweat lodge. And they were saying it had to do with new beginnings, as well as they talked about the dung beetle and how the dung beetle will, plant its eggs inside dung and it rolls. I think it goes from the east to the west or something like that. West to east can't remember the exact direction, but that was so appropriate for me because that's where I was at the time. I was caught up in dung, limiting beliefs, wounding, and all that kind of good stuff at the beginning phases of my spiritual path. And, the dung beetle is about enlightenment and awakening, which is why I think it goes from the west to the east or something like that. I need to look it up. The other one I saw, I don't remember if this was my first sweat lodge or one of the first, was the turtle. This was before I initiated into Yemonja. But the turtle totem is definitely a feminine totem. And what was told to me in the sweat lodge was that it had to do with carrying my spiritual home on my back. It was not, and I would be traversing the world. There's no one spiritual home. And that's basically what this live stream has been about. Me showing y'all I'm not one thing, okay? I am a truth seeker. Okay, let's see here. We have a white owl as an animal totem. Let's see here. Been seeing caterpillar, butterflies, groundhogs, chipmunks. Okay. So the caterpillar and the butterflies probably go together. White owl. That's deep. Snakes. Okay, so we have another owl. That snakes is deep. That's real deep. All types of birds. Okay, what is it, Laura? Turtle or beetle? So yeah, y'all, I love this book, Animal Speak. There used to be some company where you could order all these books from. We get, I don't know, some cheap ones. I don't know. Anywho. So if y'all ever want to talk totems, let's talk animal totems. Because the way I see it is And one of you mentioned animal totems the other day to me, too. But a lot of times when we feel lost, you can work with the energy of the animal totems and they will begin to show up. You'll be like, literally, the universe is sending me a message. That's one of the reasons birds are such a big deal. Rabbits and dragonflies. Huh? I don't know how old you are, Selena, but you better be careful. Because that might have something to do with Oshun. Oh, I dropped my phone. That might have something to do with Oshun right there. And Oshun is about fertility. Okay, a bee, that's Oshun. Oshun is the bees. Okay, we got a lot of Oshun here. The birds are the powerful feminine beings. In E5, people don't really like talking about the Iyami, but that is who birds are considered to be a part. Birds are definitely messengers. So let me just tie this in a little bit to E5, just because my godfather taught us this. The energy of, I want to say the eagle is Obatala. Obatala would be the eagle. And Shango would be the hawk. Eshu Alegua would be the coyote. Oshun would be the otter. And Yemonja would be the turtle. Y'all, my godfather would be proud of me. I got that in my head. Oh, nice. Okay, so dragonflies. I love the dragonflies. And I see the dragonflies very much connected to the energy of Mercury or Gemini. And perhaps you know what? Why don't we just look up dragonflies? Since so many people have mentioned dragonflies, Mama Earth says crocodiles, jaguars, and cats. Crocodile, I don't know if y'all know this, but the crocodile is very feminine. Who knew? But I have figured out the crocodile and alligator, very feminine energy, that they do not play. Okay. Fierce. Maybe the crocodile is more like Oya. Very fierce, feminine energy. Okay. Dragonfly. 340. Let's see what the dragonfly is about. So dragonflies have to do with the power of light. Let's see here. Dragonflies, and they're also saying damselflies inhabit two realms, water and air. See, it's just like Gemini, duality, two things or whatever. The significance of these should be examined. There must be expressions whenever this energy shows up, expressions of both the emotional and the mental together. If the dragonfly has shown up in your life, you may need some fresh air in regard to something emotional. You may need to gain a new perspective or make a change. It may even indicate that you are neglecting your emotions. You may be being too rational. And are you not keeping the color of emotions alive? So it's a whole lot here. But yeah. I say, Twyla, she asked, how do you find out your animal? You can go through a sweat lodge ceremony, but I don't know if there's any sweat lodge ceremonies going on right now. Okay, Laura, I got you the beetle. So what I do is I pay attention to what's showing up. Now you can invite your animal totem to you. You can just say, I'm asking you to come and reveal yourself to me, and get quiet, and maybe you'll see something in your dreams. It's like you'll start seeing all these signs. This is what I love about having nature be your oracle. Okay. Because you'll start seeing these signs. You'll just start seeing the same thing over and over and over again. Like Laura said, she's seeing cardinals, And so then once I keep, and it's not just I see them and I notice, it's like, huh, okay, really? Then that's a sign to me, that's a sign. But you can invite that animal totem to you. Have you ever seen that movie Brother Bear? Okay, so dragonflies have been popular, but I want to talk to you about this crocodile real quick. And then I'll probably start wrapping it up because I got to get the reading done for my inner circle. Crocodile 354. The crocodile is pretty. I was pretty impressed when I saw that. So yeah, Twyla, I want you to keep a lookout. Primal energies of birth, motherhood, and initiation. Who is that? Who saw that? Mama Earth. Primal energies of birth, motherhood, and initiation. Wow, that's deep. This author writes a lot, so I can't read everything. Maybe I'll bring one on every now and again. Yep. Cardinals mean your ancestors are very near. Hawks, nice. Very good. Okay, cool. All righty, everybody. Well, I hope that this has been helpful to you all. This has been very enjoyable and fun for me. And one last thing. I think I've maybe been able to see it down here. If you are in my inner circle, this is already there. So this is a time of year. We talked about cycles, living according to cycles. And this year is one big ending and beginning of cycles. And so it's really important for us to take charge of where we're heading to in terms of, okay, once all this is over, where do I really want to be? And the best way to put yourself in the position of success and living a happy and fulfilled life is living according to your gifts and talents. Owning what makes you unique, owning what makes you stand out in the crowd, and doing everything you can to hone and cultivate your gifts and your talents. And so this time of Leo is the time to do that. Everyone, I need you to drop me something here in the comments about why are you're welcome, Mama Earth. Why are you special and unique? Tell me something that is wonderful about you. And yes, I'm asking you to bribe. So yeah, Twyla, Brother Bear, you want to know how to find your totem? Brother Bear, but you don't need to turn into a bear to do that. But yeah, this is what Leo season is about. And so what I have noticed is that we've had so much Cancerian energy here lately. And why is this important? Again, going back to the cycles. It is because wherever Cancer is in your blueprint, which is your natal chart, is an area where there is a new beginning, and you're going to be working on that thing for the next 19 years. And so it behooves you to really understand what that is. And whatever it is, it's going to help you to cultivate your gifts, your talents. It's going to help take you to a whole new level. Even though we're sort of shifting in a way just because of the astrology and how that's changing. But there's something about this Cancerian energy. Just like yesterday, Venus is in Cancer. It's like we cannot get away from Cancer. Mercury just left Cancer there. We've had eclipses in Cancer. We had an eclipse in Cancer in, June, which was a new moon phase. And then we had another new moon in Cancer in July. There's 2 new moons that we've had in Cancer. This is how important Cancer is. And so we're getting the full moon. I talked about this last night. So if y'all are hearing me repeat this, pardon me. But we keep having the full moon that matches the new moon come before the new moon. Think about it. In astrology, the new moon, phase matches the sign of that phase, matches the full moon. So if it's a new moon in Cancer, the full moon automatically will be in Capricorn. Okay. So what has happened is we've come out of the Cancer Capricorn phase of the moon. We just had the full moon in Aquarius. Who got rocked by that full moon in Aquarius? I got rocked. Full moon in Aquarius. I just now started feeling better today. That moon brought up a lot because it happened in my house of emotions. It brought up a whole lot for me to let go and release. But the full moon is about endings and release. Aquarius matches Leo. We get the Aquarius full moon before the Leo new moon. So what is that telling you? That's telling you we need to let go of some stuff. What's covering up your Leo energy? Do you understand how important Leo is? Leo is where we shine, and also where your sun is, and where's your fifth house in your chart, because your fifth house tells a lot about your gifts and your talents. So all this is being cleared out so that we can grab our fifth house, our Leo energy, our unique gifts and talents, and what makes us stand out and just really be special. We want to get all of this together before this new moon on the 18th of August in Leo. Okay. And so last year I created the Leo Masterclass. And with that masterclass, yes, I take my classes. I do everything that I put out. With that class, I said, I am going to own what is my truth when it comes to my gifts and my talents and what makes me stand out in the crowd. And I have spent, and it's again about the cycles, I have spent from that new moon to this upcoming new moon, getting more and more confident in my gifts, my talents, what makes me stand out, and just being unapologetic for it. Now it's been me having to really do the work. Don't get me wrong. But I am telling you, my life has been transformed. I am a new person. I'm so much further down the path. I feel so much. See, this is what Leo has to do with confidence. I feel so much more confident in myself. I feel so much confident in what I'm doing. I'm walking with way more certainty. And it's because I'm owning what makes me unique. I'm owning my gifts and I'm owning my talents. And so, yes, I like that. It's like you're getting more than enough chance to harness what's needed. The harvest. I love that. Yes. Yeah. Ashe Azizi. So I have created the Leo Masterclass. So I'm going to show that to y'all if I don't mess this up. Yesterday, I was trying to show people my African dance classes. So yeah, it's here. You have to go. I probably need to put this in I have to create a link through my website, but I'll do that once I get off. But I'll put this in the comments so that y'all can see it. But yeah, y'all, this is my Leo masterclass, and I go in depth about this new moon just because actually this new moon that's coming up is going to be a little bit of a challenge. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge. It's actually got a lot of good aspects to it, but voila, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Let's see here. I think I can also share one more thing. Application, just so y'all can see it. And like I said, if you're in the inner circle, do not buy this. It's in the inner circle. Go to the Goddess Body Mind Spirit Academy. But yeah, so this is the actual course also, where I help you to better understand Leo, but then also how to figure it out in your own chart. And so, of course, if you buy it, there's a comment section where you could always ask me questions, because I know not everybody, knows everything. Not everybody understands their chart. My favorite part that I think got me the most results is the journal. So yeah, making sure you write down everything. I was listening to one of my teachers talk about journaling, and she talked about how when we journal, it connects whatever we're writing about, it connects it to our subconscious. Okay. And it's all about knowing who you are. And so when you connect to your subconscious, you essentially are giving your subconscious instructions on what to do. And this is in Ifa, since I know a lot of people want to know Ifa. It's the Ori, the Ipanri, and the Ori Inu, all that working together to help us to have that clear guidance and direction to understand, okay, this is what I want to do. Why am I not getting there? Or this is what I want to do. What is the path to get there? Another way that I like describing it, and I got this one ancestral goddess from actually the Metu Neter, is we think, and we know these words, so it's not just from the Metu Neter, but anywho, we talk about the omnipresence, the omniscience, and the omnipotence. This is really understanding that the great divine consciousness, whatever you want to call it, is always aware of what we're thinking, what we're feeling. And when we put out a request to make something manifest in our lives, the omnipresence hears it. The great divine consciousness is everywhere. We're sitting in it, we're immersed in it, and we are it at the same time, right? And so then we have to allow the infinite intelligence to show us how to get there. Sometimes the infinite intelligence will show us you need to release and let something go, baby. You can't have this because there's something in your subconscious that's, blocking you from getting it. You have a limiting belief. You don't believe you deserve it, whatever. Or it'll take you straight there. And the power of the great divine consciousness is what allows us to take that action to bring forth whatever it is that we seek to manifest. Okay. So this is why it's so important to journal. This is why I put journals with everything. And it's not just why I put journals with everything. The way I started sharing journals was because by other people's work, they have a journal. I start filling it out, and lo and behold, everything I write down, if it's about manifesting, manifest, or it helps me to work through so much that I'm able to see, what has been blocking me, and that I can process it and release it and let it go. So journaling is very healing, and they even talk about this research and all that kind of good stuff. Okay. Hey, Paula, how you doing, Goddess? How you doing? So yeah, you can get that masterclass. Leo, it's probably 3 videos involved. Yeah. How much? How many hours? It's probably at least 3 to 4 hours of me sharing wisdom with you all up in there. Y'all know I don't go light. I don't go light. So anyway, y'all good? Y'all all right? All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. I love y'all. And I will do I will do my best. Right now, y'all are scheduled in and penciled in at 5:30 on well, you know what? I'm going to start doing Friday and Saturday. I was already doing Friday on YouTube. I just need to see how the system works. But I will definitely be here on YouTube at 5:30 on Saturday, 6:30 on Facebook on Friday. But if I find out that this actually does, a good job of streaming to both of y'all, and I can look at one camera, then I will definitely do this on both. Oh, I needed to tell you that my sister-in-law, I was telling that to Leo. I told her what you said about creativity coming out or getting back to it. And ever since her birthday, she now knows how to draw. What? I love that, Twyla. Wonderful. Love you too, Azizi. Love you too. I love all of y'all. I shall. Y'all are the best. This has healed my spirit. Yesterday shook me, so thank you. Thank you, Dr. Vershawn. I appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate y'all so much. So keep me posted on how things are going. We are in the waning moon phase, y'all. So this is a really good time to be releasing and letting things go, especially anything blocking what makes you uniquely, wonderfully abundant you. It's time to up level, baby. Do that Sierra song, level up, baby. Hey, 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 hey. All right, y'all. Take care. And remember, may the oracle be your guiding light. Love y'all. Peace.